So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that all of y'all said shit. We're in school today. No one wants to be in school. Everyone hates school. Although we are fortunate enough that we at least have a somewhat funny and entertaining history teacher. Keeps us laughing, makes the class a lot less boring. So I'm just going to try to keep up with him today. Alright? Alright. Ass kissing. Check. We can move on now. So what we've got in store for y'all today is just a few skits that me and some buddies put together, basically mocking different events in history. Now, the first one that we have is based on an event known as the Bay of Pigs. Now, for those of y'all that don't know anything about that, back in the 60s, the U.S. wanted Cuba to overthrow Fidel Castro. So we took a bunch of Cuban exiles, trained them, put some guns in their hands, planned out an invasion for them, and we were even going to provide 2 strategic airstrikes to help them out. Sounds like a good plan. Where did it all go wrong? To start off, the plan was actually set in motion and approved originally by President Eisenhower in March of 1960. And in November of that year, Kennedy was elected into office, which right off the bat, it's just, the best possible thing for an invasion plan. Changing leadership right in the middle. How could that possibly go wrong? Well, I'll tell you. You see, Kennedy was on board with this whole invasion plan, but he was absolutely determined to keep the U.S.'s involvement a secret. Yeah, because that's even remotely possible, Kennedy. So, because of his whole, I want to keep this a secret complex, of the 2 airstrikes we were supposed to provide, Kennedy just upped and canceled the second one. You know why? Because photos went public of the U.S. planes that were involved in the first strike. Which, by the way, was terribly unsuccessful to begin with. Most of the targets were missed, leaving Castro's Air Force virtually untouched. So what's Kennedy's response? To cancel the second strike. What is that? How is that going to help anything? First off, your secret, it's out now. U.S. involvement is public. Cat's out of the bag. You're not hiding from that anymore. So what's canceling the second strike going to help? Nothing. All it's going to do, all it did do, was leave the invasion force out to dry. And Castro's forces, of course, slaughtered him. It was terrible. And the whole situation got me thinking. I bet Kennedy was a really shitty friend. I bet he was that kind of friend that eggs you on, pushes you into something that you don't want to be in, and then when push comes to shove and you need some help, he's gone. Nowhere to be found. Just bailed. I mean, imagine if one of your friends did that to you. I bet you'd be pretty pissed. So this first video is basically just that. It's my impression of what Kennedy would have been like as your friend. So let's take a look.
Man, this is a good party, John.
Yeah, pretty sweet. Lots of ladies.
Yeah, man, we're really having a good time. Except for that douchebag over there, acting like a jive turkey, getting fresh with all the ladies.
I know, man. I've been watching him. I saw him grab like 3 different girls' asses.
Man, somebody should really go kick his ass.
You should go kick his ass.
No, somebody should go kick his ass.
No, come on, man. I mean, why not? Look, he ain't nothing. You got this. You can go. You can take him. Hey, I got your back, man. Don't worry. I'll be right behind you.
You promise?
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. You're my boy. I got your back.
All right, man. I'm counting on you, though, dude.
I got you. Don't worry. I got you.
Hey, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm talking to you. What? You got something? Oh, shit. Ow. Oh. John,
Careful.
John.
Watch out for the...
John, help.
You got it.
No, all right, he's getting... Oh.
Walk it off, bro.
The fuck, John? The hell were you?
Oh, you were going over there like right now?
Yeah, like right now.
Oh, man, I went and got another drink.
I can see you got another drink. You said you were going to go help me.
How'd it go?
Great. It went great. God damn it, John. I swear to God I'm going to get you back for this. But my name is not Lee Harvey Oswald.
I bet y'all didn't see that ending coming, did you? Yeah, you gotta keep them on their toes, Can't be too predictable. Now, on the other hand, there is one former U.S. president that I believe would have been an awesome friend. Been an awesome guy to have you back. And that is Ronald Reagan. You see, Reagan, to me, seems more like the kind of guy that people really just don't fuck with, you know? I mean, the Iranians didn't. They knew better. You don't know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the Iranian hostage crisis of 1979. Now, for those of you that don't know what the Iranian hostage crisis is, back in 1979, a large group of militant Islamic students bum rushed the U.S. Embassy, took 52 people hostage. Now, these hostages were held for a total of 444 days, while the terrorists were demanding all kinds of different things from the U.S. You know, ransom situation. Now, Jimmy Carter was president at the time, and his initial response was what's called Operation Eagle Claw, which in short was a covert assault aimed at rescuing the hostages. Well, as these things often do, failed miserably. Carter, after that, took to negotiations. Basically, Carter was just going to up and offer Iran every little thing they wanted. I even came across some quotes from a former Marine who was assigned to the White House during Carter's last few months as president. And he said that Carter would be constantly complaining, and I quote, "I've done everything that Ayatollah has asked, and still nothing works. I've done everything that he asks, and still nothing works." No wonder they weren't scared of that weak-kneed liberal. They didn't think he was going to... They knew he wasn't going to do anything. They weren't worried about Carter. He was giving them everything they wanted. Reagan's another story. Reagan publicly stated that if the hostages were not released on the day that he was sworn into office, by the day that he was sworn into office, that he was going to bomb their country back to the Stone Ages and send in the Marines. And what do you know? Hours after he's inaugurated into office, hostages are on a plane back to the U.S. So this next video, a little drastically exaggerated, but this is basically my version of what the Iranians thought of Ronald Reagan, and the true reason that they let the hostages go. So, check it out.
Cole Remington here from the Houston Chronicle. Mr. Reagan, would you care to comment on that current hostage situation in Iran?
No, not really.
I'm sorry, let me rephrase. What is your opinion on how President Carter is handling the situation?
You mean not handling. Next question, please. Back corner.
Yes, sir. This is Eduardo Rodriguez from the Periódico de Globo en Español. So you are saying that you disagree with the negotiation tactics that President Carter has taken so far?
No, I'm saying I disagree with negotiations, period.
I don't really follow, sir.
Yeah, you didn't seem too bright. You see, the U.S. does not negotiate with terrorists, period.
Right here, mate.
Up in the front.
Oh, yes, this is Kangaroo Jack from the Down Under Inquirer. So, Mr. Reagan, if you are elected to the presidency, how do you plan to handle the situation, if it hasn't already been resolved?
Well, when I'm elected to the presidency, there will no longer be a situation to be handled.
I don't think you follow, sir. The question was, if the situation has not already been resolved.
No, I believe it is you who doesn't follow, sir. You see, when I'm elected into office, either on or before the day that I'm sworn in, those hostages will be released. That I guarantee.
Right here. Only James George Henry Michael Norwich, London Times. I'm sorry, but I just don't understand how you can be so confident of that after your previous comments on how you feel President Carter is not handling the situation. What then, Mr. Reagan, makes you so sure they will be released?
About 2,600 nukes.
Would you care to elaborate on that a little more?
Look, it's not that complicated, people. This issue is not an issue at all. Mr. Carter is embarrassing himself and this country by even acknowledging these terroristic demands. And that little Operation Eagle Claw, it's humiliating. So I'm not going to say one damn word to these terrorists, but I've got a nice little stockpile of nukes over here that says those hostages will be released. And you can take that to the bank.
So, what you're trying to say is that if you are elected president and the hostages are not released, then you're going to nuke Iran?
I'm not saying, I'm just saying, yo.
I'm not sure what that means.
What that means is that even though you can't seem to understand this simple concept, the Iranians know what's up. They might have thought they could pull this bullshit with Mr. Carter over there, but with me, they know better. And I guarantee you that by the day I'm sworn into office, those hostages will be released. Probably within hours of my inauguration.
Mr. Reagan, you can't honestly believe that they're just going to let the hostages go merely because you're elected into office without any further negotiations?
Oh, I'm sorry. Something funny, y'all? Listen, it's not a matter of what I believe or don't believe. Alright? I'm telling you exactly what's gonna happen. I ain't fucking around with these motherfuckers anymore. You wanna hear my negotiation tactics, Mr. Foxworthy? Alright, here's my negotiation tactics. Listen up, Iran! If those hostages are not released and on their way home by the day that I'm sworn into office, then I kid you not, on the almighty Lord above, I will go biblical on your asses! I'm talking raining fire up in this bitch, y'all! Trust! When I'm finished with your country, it's gonna be nothing but a skid mark on the underpants of history. You know what people are gonna say when the subject of Iran comes up? You ran where, dog? Cause ain't nobody gonna remember your asses! That, Mr. Foxworthy, is my negotiation tactics.
No further questions, sir. What the fuck is this problem?
Well, folks, we've got some breaking news for you here tonight. It seems the Iranian hostage crisis is over. The hostages were released a mere hours after President Reagan's inaugural address. Oddly enough, the president's only comments on the matter were, Mr. Foxworthy can go ahead and cram that up his ass. Interesting response to the day's events. That's all for us here today at KBBJLMTSRDWFR13 News at 5. Thanks for tuning in.
Bet you didn't know Reagan was half thug. You know, not surprising. Not a lot of people know that. Not a well-known fact. Well, before this last video, I'm going to have to go ahead and apologize in advance if there's any former Sarah Palin fans in the room. Sarah Palin supporters. Because this video is about her. You know, I was under the impression that there's some sort of qualification process when selecting a vice presidential candidate. But apparently, they just draw names out of a hat. And you know, I wish I could have been there on that day when Sarah's name first got thrown into the bunch. You know, trying to figure out who's going to be our vice presidential candidate this year. I mean, it must have started as a joke, you know. One guy coming in, guys, I got it. Got this vice president crap done, solved. Ready? Ready to have your minds blown? Get this. Sarah Palin. Right? Yeah, she's perfect. She's got no experience. She's been a governor for 18 months. 18 months. You know what she did before that? She was a sportscaster. There's a good resume for the next vice president. Oh yeah, how could that possibly go wrong? She's terrible at interview questions. Her answers just run around in circles. They avoid the question. They mean absolutely nothing. Half the time, it sounds like she's just throwing in big government-y sounding words to try to sound like she knows what the fuck she's talking about. Globalization. trade economics, tax reduction, health care reform, bailout. Oh, my personal favorite, maverick. The f does that even mean? Maverick. You know, me and John McCain, we're just a couple of mavericks. Bitch, shut up. Excuse my language. Come on. I mean, did you actually see those Katie Couric interviews? It physically hurt to watch somebody bomb an interview that bad. So, with that being said, we'll move on now. This is my version of the Katie Couric, Sarah Palin interview. Please enjoy. Thank you for being with us today. Great to be here, Katie. Sarah, you've previously cited Russia's proximity to Alaska as experience in foreign policy. I was just wondering, what exactly did you mean by that? Well, Katie, you know, Alaska, it's right up here, and then you got water, and then on the other side is Russia, so, you know, we keep an eye on them. Well, explain to me how exactly that enhances your foreign policy credentials. Well, Katie, it certainly does. You see, Alaska is right up here, you know, and then on the other side is Russia, and then on this side is Canada. So, you know, the state that I'm the executive official of is right next to two foreign countries. Well, have you ever been involved in any negotiations of any sort with the Russians? Oh, well, yeah, you know, we trade with them and stuff. And, you know, when it comes to national security, it's another thing you should consider, because since Alaska's right there next to Russia, it, you know, when Putin is flying into the country, you know, it's when he first comes into American airspace, what does he see? Alaska. So, you know, he's got to think about that. Yeah, let's maybe try another question. What lessons would you say that you've learned from Bush's dealings with Iraq, and how specifically will you try to spread democracy across the world? Well, you know, Katie, specifically, we will make every effort possible to spread democracy for those who desire freedom, independence, you know, tolerance, stuff like that. You know, that's the goal behind all this fighting terrorism, and, you know, not just to fight the terrorists, but to spread democracy. And when it comes to establishing your worldview, what newspapers and magazines did you regularly read before you were tapped for this, to stay informed and understand the world? You know, I've read most of them again, with great appreciation for the press, for the media. Yes, but which ones specifically? All of them, really. Any of them that have been in front of me over the years. You know? Can you name any of them? You know, Katie, I'll have to get back to you. And when it comes to the bailout, don't you think that it would be better to spend this $7 billion on middle-class families, helping them, rather than bailing out these banks that are responsible for them being in the situation that they're in? Well, you know, Katie, when it comes to the bailout, you know, when you consider tax reductions, you have to really think about the umbrella of job creation. And, you know, in its consideration with the global economics and trade opportunities, it really just, you know, we have to look at it, and we have to go in, and me and McCain, we just gotta be mavericks, you know? We gotta look at it and just take it and do what a maverick would do. healthcare reform.
Yeah, well, that's all the questions that we have for you tonight, Sarah. Join us next time, and we'll be talking to Senator McCain.
So after going back and watching that whole interview, I had a few notes I felt I needed to add on to the end here. For one, Sarah Palin's voice, I tried very hard to get it, and for some reason it started sounding Irish, and it was just all over the place. I don't know what the hell happened there. And her hair, I am very aware that the hairpiece that I used wound up looking like a mullet, but did the best with what I had. And last but not least, just in case there's anyone out there that thought I was maybe a little too harsh on Sarah, maybe think she's not as dumb as I made her out to be, just for the record, 2 of the questions in there, I did not write the script at all. They were exact transcripts of the interview questions that Katie Couric asked. Those 2 being the newspaper one and the one about, she asked her specifically what they were going to do to spread democracy. And her answer was, well, specifically, we're going to make every effort possible to spread democracy. Yeah. Y'all don't believe me? Y'all don't think Sarah's really that stupid? Go back and watch. Just go on YouTube and check out the Sarah Palin, Katie Couric interviews, because they're pretty atrocious. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed.
Did you guys see that? I don't know what else to say.